We're gonna do the. We're doing. I guess we're gonna do the show.
Yeah.
Oh, hey, you are currently tuned into Greynoise. Welcome to episode 149 of Greynoise, the show where most of us aren't here. We are at the Sin Shop as we are every Friday night at 7:30 p.m. At the Sin Shop, located at 1075 American Pacific Drive, Suite C in beautiful downtown Henderson, Nevada. We are the Las Vegas hackerspace, Las Vegas Valley hackerspace, something crux. Don't forget to go to sinshop.org for information about the shop. Don't forget we do have several classes and events coming up, including a Danger Room class for the members on Saturday, an open craft night on Wednesday that's open to everybody, and much more. And to find out more info about these and other events, go to meetup.com/sinshop. And if you'd like to tweet to us, you can do that at Greynoise Media. But the best place to interact with the show will be tuned in live tonight. One of us.
Yeah.
And that would be at our Discord, which you can join by going to our website. That is GREYNOI.SE. And with that...
What's your name?
Oh, yeah. I'm Richard Satchel.
I'm Zenify.
There we go.
Yeah, we're good.
So how was your week?
Oh, it was normal. I have a lot to do at work. I'm trying to... Basically, I took over a network that already exists.
Yeah.
And that's never easy when the company's been around like 15 years. And, I can't get into some Cisco switches, so I just kind of sit there. Well, actually, yesterday, I sat in the server room for about an hour, and I was really just hoping I could become like a server whisperer, and it would just speak to me the credentials, because I'm going to have to reset the switch, and I have no idea what configurations are on it.
You're not looking forward to that.
Yeah, I don't have credentials, and the last sysadmin's like, he's just all shoulders.
Yeah.
So that'll be horrible.
That's always fun, yeah. So especially when you have a situation where, like, if you have a steady stream of technicians that come and go and come and go and come and go,
Yeah,
So.
It was like, I think they've had 4 total sysadmins at this company.
Right.
1 was like a significant period of time, and then 2 and 3 were like moderate. The last one was only like a year, and now I'm there. So
man.
We'll see how it works out. I think I've been doing a decent job so far, but as soon as I start resetting stuff, that's probably gonna get hairy.
That's when the stuff hits the fan.
Yeah, it'll be a joy and a hoot.
Fun.
What about you? What'd you do?
So I have apparently fallen, and I knew I was going to do this. I have fallen into gear acquisition syndrome. I, in fact, have a case of gas.
What the fuck?
That's really silly.
What?
Okay, so here's what gear acquisition syndrome is, and if anyone out there is a musician, then you already know this well. So I bought a modular synth.
Okay.
Just a little one, just like about that big, and so I made a little case for it. But I had just enough room left over for a couple more modules. But see, then when I put those in, then I didn't have enough room, so I need a bigger case. So I got a bigger case.
But now you have a bigger case.
And now I have a bigger case, and there's all this empty space, so I got to fill that. And so now I filled that, and then I needed to make another one.
I feel the exact same way. I built a network rack in my closet in my home, in my office closet. And so I bought a 12U rack.
Yeah.
Originally, I thought I bought a 15U, but I'm like, it's fine. The 12U is going to be fine.
Right.
It's not fine because I already want to put more in it.
Exactly.
So I don't know if I'm going to add another 12U to the right of it on a different wall, or just put it underneath, or what I'm going to do, but I already want more.
Yeah. Gear acquisitions.
Yeah, it's bad.
It is, yeah.
So I understand your pain in some form or fashion.
Right. Yeah. Well, and then I bought a brand new sequencer, and I was hoping to use it with all my MIDI gear, and it does everything I want except interface with MIDI gear.
Well, that's that didn't work out.
Apparently, someone did not read the manual.
eBay?
Huh?
Did you buy it on eBay?
Reverb.
Oh, okay.
But
still didn't read.
You didn't read. No,
Yeah.
no. That was my fault.
Yeah.
But you know who did read?
Who?
The FBI.
Oh yeah. Well, actually, I think we should go into one other thing.
Oh, go into the other thing. What's the other thing?
E3 just happened.
E3 did indeed happen.
Yeah. There's a lot of stuff announced.
What was announced?
Well, for one, a lot of people that watch this podcast or listen to this podcast might enjoy Cyberpunk 2077, I think it is.
That looks amazing.
Yeah, it looks... I mean, I don't know if I've ever expected like another game like that to come out in the sense of... I don't think it's like Grand Theft Auto-esque, but it's super open world where
right.
You know, you get in a car, not be in a car, go into a diner, do whatever you want.
Right.
So I'm just interested to see another... type of game like that, because it didn't seem super action fueled. Because games that you think about like that are Grand Theft Auto-esque are going to be things like additional games like Just Cause 4, which was announced, but again, a lot of mayhem in that game.
Right.
Other games like Saints Row, none of that was announced, but Saints Row games, same type. And
Rage 2.
Yeah, Rage 2.
Yeah.
So I'm kind of like, I'm excited to, like, I saw in the trailer, like, it wasn't over the top, like, explodey, everything's on fire, like, it's just constant mayhem.
Yeah.
This one seems like it's actually going to be story-driven, which I'm excited for.
Definitely.
And then additionally, something that I know you're interested in, another open-world game.
Well, hold on that one.
Okay.
Because I wanted to say something about Cyberpunk.
Okay.
I think Cyberpunk is pretty awesome because I remember seeing a release or a teaser for that. It had to have been like 5 or 6 years ago.
Oh, really?
And then nothing happened. It was really cool video, really cool teaser trailer.
Yeah.
But this was, it had to have been something like that. It might have been longer. I should have looked before we started the show. But at least at a minimum 5 years ago.
Huh.
And I was like, oh my God, that looks amazing. And then nothing happened. It was kind of like, Half-Life 3 confirmed. And
yeah, that'll never happen.
Well, yeah, no, it won't.
There was another thing by the same company. Well, actually, is it the same company? Bethesda makes Fallout, right?
They do, yeah.
Okay, so, and they also make another game that was announced, which is Elder Scrolls.
Right.
The new Elder Scrolls, which everyone's highly anticipated, except it's not coming out until, like, the PS5 comes out, which doesn't have, like, a date yet or any specs or announcement of any sort. So
a game that which we will talk about shortly is coming out next. It's Fallout 76. Everyone knows that.
Yeah.
But Fallout 76 is coming out next, right? That's in the beta version of it. Star something. Huh? There's a game that they got that takes place in space. It's a single player only game. Takes place in space. It is called Star something, by God. But at any rate, that's coming out next. It's in a playable state, but that's it. And then after they finish with that, I think that's like 2 years out or something like that.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah. And then after that, then Elder Scrolls. So
why?
You got a minute.
Why did they announce it so ridiculously early?
I have no idea.
I mean, I guess I'm going to talk. I've been widely anticipating Kingdom Hearts 3 since 2006. So they announced that pretty much right after Kingdom Hearts 2. They're like, yeah, that's coming. We just didn't know it'd be freaking by the end of 2018.
No kidding. Yeah,
so, we pretty much had to wait over 10 years.
Some quick gargling real quick here.
Oh,
Starfield.
Star Citizen.
Starfield.
What?
Starfield. That's Bethesda's space RPG.
Huh.
Yeah.
But he is right. I think Star Citizen's in like a game playable phase, but it's not.
Yeah, that is a thing, but that's not the thing that's coming up next from Bethesda after Fallout. Yeah.
Interesting.
It's a thing. It's not that thing. That's right.
I think I like Star Citizen more because it's in VR. And I'd rather play in VR. I mean, I play Elite Dangerous in VR, and that's a really good space game in VR. Yeah, so
nice.
What do you... I know you guys were talking a ton in our gaming channel and Discord about Fallout 2070... What was it?
Fallout 76.
Okay.
I just wanted to see if I could find when... Okay, there's no way I'm going to look that up. That's going to take forever. So somebody find out when Cyberpunk 2077, when the first trailer came out, because there's no me this time. But okay, so yes, Fallout. A great war has begun, and war never changes.
No.
So
wait, is that Soldier 76?
Huh? That's Ron Perlman from the start of every Fallout game.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, I've never played a Fallout game.
What is wrong with that? You need a mic. You should have a mic. Okay, so basically, there's a big to do right now on the internets because something is slightly different than how it used to be. and everyone liked the old thing.
Oh, I think I know what you're talking about.
Right. Okay. So Fallout 3 and Fallout New Vegas and to a lesser extent Fallout 4, they all had a lot more. They were all focused very heavily on single player, and especially Fallout 3 and Fallout New Vegas, you could get through the entire game with nothing but speech checks. You didn't have to fire a shot.
Really?
It was hard, but you could do it. Right. There was a lot more in-depth character trees, right? That's the argument, and it's true.
Was it? But people enjoyed that more.
People really, really got into that because they were into the RPG-ish parts of it very heavily, and not really so much into the FPS.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay.
Now, they kind of did what they could to bridge that gap, and that's where VATS comes in. VATS lets you basically pause the action and say, I'm going to shoot that monster in the head, right? Okay. And according to your stats, you'll have a 70, 80, 20% chance of doing that. And then it'll do that.
And you have a chance of hitting or not.
Right, okay. Exactly.
So that's what helped during, if you wanted to play something more speech heavy.
Right.
And then you just kind of use the VATS to get through the FPS.
Or if the person is not necessarily a good Twitch shooter, right? But you want your character to be. Yeah. You can spec heavily into VATS, and you can still hold your own as far as in a gunfight. Yeah. Right? Okay. So now, since someone leaked onto the internet, it's one of those things where have you ever heard the whole expression, a lie can get around the world before the truth puts its shoes on?
I haven't until now.
Well, there it is. Someone months and months and months ago said that they were going to make a Rust clone out of Fallout. And everyone just took that and ran with it. And so all of a sudden, now it's just going to be PUBG Fallout Edition and all this. But it's not. There was this huge interview with Pete Hines, I think it was, where he explained how they were going to make it not that, essentially. Okay. And it makes a lot of sense. You can... What they're trying to do is let you role play whatever you want to do. If you want to be a trader, then make some shit and then walk the wasteland and trade it. If you want to be a fighter, you can go do that. You can go shoot people and you'll get experience points for that. But it's not a thing where you can just constantly follow a dude and grief him and shoot him and kill him. And they have... It's basically... you play Borderlands. Yeah. Okay. You know how someone in your party could duel you. Oh, yeah. So-and-so has challenged you to a duel. Do you accept? Yeah. And if you did, then you would fight. Yeah. It sounds like it's similar to that. Oh.
So but you have to accept. Yeah. So I saw a lot of comments hating on this new Fallout game because people are afraid that they're just going to get what's called in the gamer community like ganked. Like you're going to be doing your own thing, and all of a sudden a player character is going to run up behind you and just start attacking you. Right. That's not the case. They have to accept, or is it going to be like World of Warcraft where there's specific zones where you can get attacked woo-nilly?
From what I was reading today, it sounds like they're not releasing all of the things about it at this point, but they're saying basically it's kind of similar to you see a big monster over there. Mm-hmm. You can choose to attack him or not, right? Yeah. And if you attack it, or if he attacks you, if you don't see him and he attacks you, well, then you'll probably be in trouble, yes. But it's not like he's going to steal all your loot. You keep all your stuff. You keep your camp. You have to respawn somewhere else, which would suck. Yeah. But
it's not like you lost everything.
No. You. I don't even know if you lose XP. Yeah. Man. And then you just stay away from that area for a little bit, or watch your step because that guy's there somewhere. Yeah.
Okay. Interesting. So I mean, honestly, I probably won't get around to playing it only because I have so much to play and it's hard to keep my attention. Yeah. on single player games a lot of the times. Yeah. I just bought Skyrim for VR. I already own Skyrim on the Xbox and the PC, but I'm like, I want the VR version. But I've never played more than like 2 or 3 hours of the game. But I'm like, it's the VR version. I'm definitely going to play. So I set up all my VR the other night, literally like Wednesday night. Set it all up. I played for like 15 minutes, like the intro. Yeah. And then I put my headset down and went to bed. I was just like, oh, I hope I boot this game up again.
Wow. But so here's the important question: do you have Skyrim for the Alexa?
No. What?
Yeah. Oh, you didn't see this?
No.
Oh, I sent you guys the link, man.
Okay, well, what time did you send it? Because
it was during the middle of the day.
Okay, I fucked up then. I should have been ignoring work. I'm sorry. Oh, it was on a Sunday.
Yeah.
Oh, I really messed up.
See? But anyway, no. During the E3 thing, they had this thing with what's that guy's name? Key and Peele. I think it was Key.
Was it the taller one or
Yes.
the director?
The director.
The director. I think that's Jordan Peele.
Jordan Peele. There you go. They had Jordan Peele in a commercial, and I thought it was a spoof.
Yeah.
He was like, "Hey Alexa, eat all the cheese," like all this stuff. And his wife comes in and gives him grief, because he's supposed to be lactose intolerant or whatever. It was kind of funny, but I was just like, "Oh, that's a funny little parody." Blah blah blah.
Yeah.
No, they did it. They actually did it.
Jeez.
It's
All
actually a thing on the Alexa. You can play Skyrim on it. And it's all voice commands. It's like, you see a dungeon before you. Walk forward.
It's like you're playing D&D in a way, but no dice, and you're just talking to an AI.
That's my understanding of it, yeah.
That's actually kind of interesting.
Kind of, yeah. I mean, you could just play D&D.
Yeah, you could just do that.
Or Exalted, for that matter.
Way better.
I mean, it's pretty awesome.
That's pretty fun.
It's pretty fun.
I have a question about
Yes,
your promotional order. So you got the beta.
Okay, so I ordered through Amazon, and I got no kind of beta code whatsoever. So I freak out, and I'm like, Amazon, WTF, mate? And they said, you're supposed to get that from someone else. So they basically told me the wrong thing. And I went and talked to them, and then I looked on some forum posts, and basically, long story longer, just wait. It's cool.
Yeah.
So then I waited, and the next day it was cool. Amazon sent me a link. I'm like, fantastic. So I go to the website. I go to the Bethesda website, and I'm like, hey, here's my beta code. And they're like, nothing.
Doesn't work?
I'm like, okay. No, it's not doesn't work.
Okay.
Just nothing. I'm like, well, that's odd. So then I went I went back, and I was like, hey, let me put my thing in. They're like, nope, that's already taken.
Huh.
I think it was taken by me.
Do you know?
I have no idea. So I've been going back and forth with their help desk, which you may be surprised to find out is really overloaded right now.
Yeah.
Yeah. So they've sent me several different FAQ files that they have, and that's been not helpful. And so, yeah, still awaiting a resolution on that. We'll get there. I have confidence.
Yeah.
I have faith.
Shoot.
I don't see anyone playing the beta right now from what I can understand. So,
We'll see.
if someone is playing the beta, let us know. And
If you're using his code, let us know so we could tell them that he fucked up.
yeah. But yeah, I don't know. So what I'm taking a kind of wait and see sort of thing. Like I'm gonna wait and see. When the beta comes out, if all of a sudden it's active, then great. If it's not, then I'll start crying.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I'll be here to not do anything.
Okay.
I
Well,
can't
that's
help
fair. You'll be there to be like, oh, that sucks.
Yeah. Tough luck.
Nah.
Buy it again.
That works. I probably would.
Yeah.
I probably would do that.
Just to get the beta.
Just to be in on the beta, yeah. Because then you have a chance to see what it's really like. You can be like, no, all you haters, shush.
Yeah.
You can see what it's really like, and not only see what it's like, but you can actually have a hand in changing it.
That's true.
If you're like, no, this sucks, and here's why, then there's a fairly decent chance that they'll be like, oh yeah, it does suck, and that is why, and okay.
Huh. I take the path that most people take, which is I'm just greedy and I want that code, and then I won't assist the developers in any way with any bugs. I just want to play it. If it doesn't work out, okay, I'll turn off the game.
Yeah, this sucks. All right, whatever,
I think I
later.
did help out a beta one time. I think it may have been Halo Reach multiplayer.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it came out. I think you had to pre-order it, and it came out with Halo ODST, and you get to do the multiplayer. And yeah, I wrote up a little thing about glitching through a floor on a certain map.
Mm-hmm.
That was the only time I ever did that.
Oh,
that was also 10 years ago. I probably won't do it again.
Yeah.
Yeah, it took too much effort. I just want to play the damn game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fair enough. Yeah, and especially all the information they want you to put in.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think I don't remember if I was part of the beta for it or not, but I remember the only contest I've ever won online was Auto Assault. Do you remember that game?
I don't.
Okay, so I never liked MMOs growing up. I never even liked Dungeons and Dragons until like last year.
Yeah.
And the reason why is because I was just not into the whole wizards and orcs and all that stuff. I was never into that setting.
Yeah.
Okay. So along comes this game called Auto Assault, which was basically World of Warcraft. It was made by NCSoft. They did some other game that people liked. I don't know anything about. Whatever, who cares? But anyway, they this company. It's on the freaking tip of my tongue. Anyway, this company made this game called Auto Assault, which was basically World of Warcraft in a post-apocalyptic future type of thing, in a not in a Fallout kind of way, but in a world where there was nuclear war and Denver was destroyed and all this crap, and everyone was divided into 3 factions: the mutants, the humans, and the mechs, and you all. Basically
coexist.
Well, not very well.
They don't know very well.
No. But it was one of those games where you had to mine stuff to craft with, and you craft stuff to mine with. Basically, it was one of those.
Great.
Yeah. If I shoot 1,000 of these things, then I get a gun that will help me shoot 1,000 more of these things. Awesome. But it worked because I was hooked on that stuff for months. But anyway, that's the only contest I ever won. Was when it was closing. They asked the question, "What does Bender have to drink to stay alive?" And I typed beer, and I got it.
Oh, from Futurama.
Yeah.
I never watched that show.
Oh, yeah.
I'm a terrible person.
I barely ever watched it, but I know that.
I would have said oil.
And I got a T-shirt. It was awesome.
Sweet.
Life was good. No one cares. But I'm kidding. So yes, in the world of cybersecurity and whatnot, I hear something may have happened.
I did too, and I heard it was interesting. It's probably gonna cause a shitstorm. There's probably some people on the side of, well, good. This should have come out, like these messages. So TLDR, FBI recovered WhatsApp and Signal data stored on Michael Cohen's Blackberries, 2 Blackberries and an iPad, which is rather interesting because actually I remember us kind of discussing this a little bit before the show. And we were concerned with it being a BlackBerry and how they properly stored or improperly stored keys, but also if this occurred on an iPad, interesting, because it probably shouldn't have happened there. But yeah, 300, what was it? Or 731 pages of messages and call logs were uncovered from one of the 2 phones. As the article states, I think they've only gotten into 1 phone. They haven't even started doing forensics or anything on the 2nd phone, so who knows how much that thing has.
No, I think they did get into all 3 devices.
Okay, have they not?
No, you're right.
Yeah.
An additional 315 megabytes. Okay, so you want me to give the laundry list? Okay.
Yeah.
So there were 291,770 total items from all 3 devices.
Jesus.
148 are privileged and or partially privileged, so they can't use those. And 7 items are highly personal, so I'm not sure how that works. I think that's just like, I don't know what the actual definition of highly personal is, but at any rate, an additional 315 megabytes of data were pulled from the first of the 2 Blackberries, and its contents were delivered to Cohen's attorneys on June 14th.
Jesus,
An unknown amount of data remains on the 2nd Blackberry.
Damn, that's a lot.
Right?
So, I guess that, for some reason I don't know why my train of thought is going this way, but obviously per legal, how the justice system works, they had to give that information to Cohen's attorneys first to skim through it and go, yeah, this is personal, this is non-personal, this is privileged information. But wouldn't that also be kind of the information they're looking for?
Well, they use, I cannot remember what the name of this is. They use a team called I cannot remember the name of it. But they basically use a team that is completely separate from the case, right?
Okay.
The FBI does. And they comb through this data and they say, okay, this is privileged information. This is not. This is privileged. This is not. This is about a traffic ticket, so that's attorney-client privilege. This is about we're going to commit a crime, so that's not. Right?
Okay.
Okay. And then that team goes and says, okay, FBI, you can see this data. You cannot see this data.
But that's
A taint team. That's what it's called.
That's a third party.
That is it's
like
within the FBI.
Okay.
But it's a completely separate team.
And so they're not biased.
Exactly.
Okay.
Well, to be more precise, they have no impact on the investigation.
Okay.
Right? That's why they're called the taint team.
Yeah.
Which is kind of funny.
Yeah.
You gotta admit. But so they basically make sure that the investigation is not tainted with attorney-client privilege data.
Because I feel like if you present any data to Cohen's lawyers, since he's in a fucking bit of a pickle, they're just going to say, yeah, you can't use any of that data. It's all attorney-client privilege.
No, it doesn't work like that.
Okay.
No. So attorney-client privilege does not cover if you're committing a crime. If you're trying to commit a crime with your attorney's help, attorney-client privilege goes out the window on that data.
Yeah.
Now, if it's other stuff, if it's like, hey, I need you to handle a parking ticket.
Yeah.
Well, obviously that has to do with that's perfectly legal for him to do, right?
Yeah.
Paying off hookers with not hookers, I'm sorry, paying off porn stars with campaign contributions. That's not legal.
Yeah.
So that's not really covered
Okay.
under
Interesting.
client privilege, right?
So, geez, and then it says, 315 megabytes of data were pulled from the first of the two Blackberries. Yeah, so
Right.
it's completely unknown what the other has, but it also makes no note of what was or wasn't on the iPad, because that's what I'm super curious about for this article in general. Is this to me, I'm not really looking at this from the political side of things about this guy getting,
Right.
in super fucking trouble, but I'm looking at it from it's WhatsApp and Signal, which they talk about end-to-end encryption. You could send all this stuff. You're good. Pretty much say whatever you want. Even phone calls are encrypted. But if the FBI is decrypting these, even if it's for good, I don't know, or if it's for bad, it's still kind of like, I don't know if I like that too much because I use Signal and I expect it to do its job. So how are these being stored? How do they decrypt these?
Well, this goes back to what I've been saying for 2 or 3 weeks now.
Yeah.
I think we're post-security.
Oh, yeah. We had all the metaphors last week.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cows out of the barn.
Yeah. What I say, water spilled from its glass. And
Water is spilled from its glass.
Yeah.
Indeed, yes.
Geez, so...
Well, but now here is the ray of sunshine to that. Bleak as it is, even though we're like, oh, crap, they can read all of our things, they also apparently are reading all of his things. I've been making Community Mike is here, and I've been saying for several weeks that we are currently in a internet security, or that we're in a post-security phase right now.
For context, we're talking about the Cohen case where WhatsApp and Signal, FBI is combing through those messages.
Oh, absolutely, yeah. It's on the phone.
Yeah.
So I think people read like, oh, this is a secure app. So silver bullet. All I have to do is load this app. I don't have to manage my content.
Is that what they did in this case?
Well, so for whatever reason, people like to nest on things. So they like to build themselves a digital nest. And they make it feel good that I have all these texts from Zenify or from Mike, right? And so I can look at my phone and say, look at all the stuff I have on my phone. This must mean I'm important, right?
Right.
When, if you're in a situation where you're communicating about critical stuff and you don't need, other people finding that out,
Right.
Signal has a setting that allows you to be able to purge your content like hourly, or you can set it whatever parameter
I also
you want.
encrypt my own app. So even though you have to, one, get into my phone,
Right.
but two, when you launch the app,
Right.
you also need a passcode.
Well, see, That's a whole configuration stack that nobody's going to listen
no
to.
one
They're
wants
going to hear
to-
the first 3 words is, this is a secure app, right? That's all they hear,
Oh, we're done here.
Yeah, that's it. Okay, that's all I needed to hear.
I downloaded it, we're good.
Not
Yeah.
anything how I use it or how I should go forward, thinking about my security. Nobody wants to hear that. It's not post that. Is that people don't understand the jargon that's being thrown at them, and marketing departments use that against them. And I'm not saying it's Signal or WhatsApp market this incorrectly. I'm saying people don't hear it, and based on jargon and how they react to it. And like people will tell you they understand, but how they act absolutely demonstrates that they do not hear what's being said to them. Right? And that's across almost the entire spectrum of security, and that's from PCs to phones to corporate to government, everything across there. You have a whole contingent of people who use these devices with no understanding of what their responsibility is, and they're so overwhelmed they just don't care. Yeah, because what's a person do when they get a brand new device or a PC? Do they install do they fire it up and go check to see if there's new data, new software for it? Nope. They tell all their friends they load WhatsApp and they tell all their friends that they got a new phone.
Yeah.
And,
Which is dumb in the first place. But
but what I'm saying is they don't do this. It's not the first thing, I better see if this thing has security updates.
Yeah.
No.
Nobody thinks like that. No one. I do, you do, because we're pretty much paid to do that, think like that, so it's kind of like our default setting. But
The average user.
if you walk through any major retail store and got on their Wi-Fi and started looking at who's out there and how their phone is configured,
Yeah.
you can have way too much fun with that. I do not encourage that.
Yeah. No, I realized, I think I said it on the podcast. I'm going to say it after. It's about the Wi-Fi pineapple. I wanted to hear from you first.
Oh, so on that note, it's funny you mentioned what people do and don't know about security. So there's on the news this week. There's this lock, a physical padlock called the tap lock.
Oh, I saw this.
You saw that, yeah. So it was basically billed as this $100 unbreakable lock, and I remember part of the
unbreakable.
yeah, it was like this highly
They
secure
said it was,
lock, and part of the
invincible.
marketing, verbiage was we use AES 128 encryption, which is military grade strength, right? They hear the word
I was going to say,
military grade, and they go, "Oh, must be secure." Not knowing that it was MD5 hash of the fucking MAC address of the Bluetooth of the Bluetooth address, right? So, hey, I can go walk around just MD5 hash, the Bluetooth address was just broadcast out. I open lock. Fuck the fuck the AS security because you don't know shit.
Yeah, but wasn't that I think we're talking about the same lock. It was the fingerprint lock, right?
No, there's a fingerprint lock.
Yeah, I think.
Yeah, so the fingerprint lock, they also said, they used the verbiage, this thing is invincible unless you have a screwdriver, because there was a little
right. Well, they used I think a GoPro or something like that plate, and he twisted it off the back.
Yeah.
Right. So then they said, okay, well, we'll fix that, and they used some sort of spring-loaded pin.
for some reason.
Yeah.
And then
What's this thing called? The tab lock?
TAP, TAPP.
Oh,
lock.
that's TAPP.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, there was like a
Great
hex screw right on the bottom. Like all you need to do is just undo that, and you can take off
It's
the
about
back.
100 euros or 100 pounds or whatever.
You're in trouble when you Google tap lock, and the top stories from Google, another flaw hits tap lock smart locks thanks to leaky server. Unbreakable smart lock devastated to discover screwdrivers exist. The smart lock everyone saw get hacked is now getting fixed.
Wow. So
And here's the fun one. The one that's now getting fixed, that was 2 days ago. Unbreakable smart lock devastated to discover screwdrivers exist was 5 hours ago.
oh, jeez.
So
I was like,
they're not doing well.
they're not doing hot.
No, they're not.
Yeah, I was gonna mention the Wi-Fi pineapple and how Vic was saying we don't some people, most people don't read into all this stuff. They don't know how to properly secure their device. We do because we get paid for it. I didn't realize that fully until I was just turning on my new Wi-Fi pineapple. I think it's called Tetra. It was the Tetra model.
Okay.
I just turned it on. I was in the setup phase. I launched this SSID. I was following a guide on YouTube because I've never used one before. So I was just kind of setting it up just to play with it. And 4 users connect to that Wi-Fi. And I literally put in the SSID, don't connect testing, and people are like, holy shit, I need to connect to that. And so I already had 4 clients connected, and I was like, I man in the middle of these people without even trying.
Yeah.
Literally the uptime on the Pineapple was 19 minutes,
Right.
and I had 4 people connected to it. I'm like, I hope these people aren't in my building because I'm pissed.
They probably are.
I took down the Wi-Fi this week. They were pretty pissed.
No, well,
Well, most people, if they were probable cell phones, they always put their name on their cell phone.
Yeah. No.
And so you can go find Billy Bob.
Yeah.
You know, he's out there.
It was.
Who's got the Samsung?
I think it was. Yeah.
Are you
One
built with the
Samsung.
Punch.
Yeah. I just had to walk around and go, you have a Samsung? Does anyone else have a Samsung? No. I need to talk to you. Get in my office. Because, yeah, it was 1 Samsung, 1 iPhone, and 2 just Androids.
Of course it was.
Yeah. And I was just like, this is ridiculous. It was like the easiest thing in the world. I'm like, I was thinking to myself, I'm like, man, I really need to get into the pen testing field because they got it.
Oh, yeah.
They got it good.
Oh, yeah.
I'm not dogging pen testers. They find some good stuff in reverse engineering.
Right.
But, man, if you need to just do a quick, easy campaign, just launch that thing around a Starbucks and you're going to,
oh yeah.
Any place people expect to have Wi-Fi.
yeah.
Casinos, any place is if they expect to have Wi-Fi, they'll jump on it.
Ugh.
And it's crazy.
So I think the best place to do that is like if you're traveling and so you go to like a gas station, like, you know, for here we're in Vegas. So if you just go out to like Prim and you're like, you just launch some free Wi-Fi, everyone's like, holy heck, there's free Wi-Fi out here? Man, you're going to get everything you need.
Yes.
That's not good. You're like, we should make a day trip.
You're like, perfect.
It's a great idea. Yeah, so that was one of our stories.
He's like, I've never done that last Friday.
Yeah.
I was nowhere near it.
Uh,
I've never been to Louisville, so.
but there was another interesting story. Well, there was 2 other stories that we have, but one of them I was
Sorry, before we go there, I did want to circle back to the lock thing.
okay.
And that again underscores what I'm saying. They make this unbreakable smart lock. Nothing's unbreakable.
Yeah. Oh no.
And to assume, kind of to your point, that you can just take something out of the box and it's gonna just keep you secure is just dumb.
Yeah. If
You
you
know.
if you assume too much by listening to the media about how well, or just the promotional marketing teams, it's their job to sell it to you.
Right.
You know,
Yeah.
it doesn't mean that it's actually going to function the way.
Totally. And well, you heard about how Manafort was hiding his emails, right? He was just making a draft and putting it inside of and storing it in an email account, and the guy that he was trying to contact had the password to that email account. So he would just log in and look in the draft folder and then just delete it afterwards, which in a way is kind of charming. You know what I mean? It's like something that someone's dad would do. You know, like, I've got the perfect plan. I can't boast me for sending an email if I never sent it.
That's kind of interesting. I remember this is going really far back.
Yeah.
What service was that on? Do you recall what he was using?
It was just an email.
Gmail
account.
or
I don't know.
Yahoo,
Well, either one of those.
AOL.
They've already got it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For this might not be related at all in a physical way of the drafts thing.
Yeah.
When I was in 5th grade, I told you it's going back a while.
Okay.
5th grade, when you know how people like pass notes,
Yeah.
like in class, and like if the teacher sees you, they'll take the note, they might read it in front of class.
Right.
Me and my friend had the idea that I had a Fisher space pen. I don't know if you know what those
Oh,
are.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I had the Bullet Fisher space pen, just the tiny, silver one. We'd do notes in there, and I'd roll them up, put it in there, and I'd just drop it off in like the the colored pencils section. And then he'd get up from his desk. He was like, I need a colored pencil. He'd go over there, get it, and then he'd read the note. And that's how we do the notes thing. The teacher never saw us pass them. We were just going to grab
You're
pencils.
in 5th grade doing a dead drop.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Nice.
Oh, I was a terrible person in 4th and 5th grade.
Oh,
Yeah, it was,
yeah.
but it was fun.
Well, it goes back to that. It's like, if somebody had handed you that super secure lock when you were in 5th grade, you'd gotten it open.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, right. So they never even handed this to any competent human being.
Yeah.
At all.
Yeah, the promotions team's like, this is great. We could build a market campaign around this,
Right.
and we're good. Don't worry, devs. And they're like, oh, man, we're going to make millions. Sent it out to the field. It's like, how easy this thing is to break into?
No, nobody's ever going to try that.
Yeah.
It's just We told them it was tough. They're not going to try it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't believe us.
Yeah.
It's unbreakable. Oh, no one's ever going to do that attempt.
Yeah.
Well, that's what I'm saying. And don't misconstrue what I'm saying. I'm not saying like, well, if you don't have anything to hide, then blah 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 blah. I'm not saying that. But what I'm saying is, you should always imagine that someone will eventually find your text,
Right.
because someone will eventually find your text.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I don't think, government agencies should be, randomly searching data that they collect,
Yeah.
ad hoc and
Right.
just say, oh, well, we found something in data that we might have, should have, maybe could look at. I don't like that randomness to
Yeah.
that. Yeah.
But if they're investigating a crime,
Sure, absolutely.
Yeah.
If they've got a warrant and they've got reason, and they can go, here's pieces of paper with stuff written on them that backs up what we were saying, and they put it in front of a judge, and they're held to perjury charges.
Yep.
If they made, that's what it's all about.
Absolutely.
Is that they're if they go to a judge and misrepresent facts, they're liable for perjury as well.
Yes, they are.
And so you have to be able to go through that process, because there's consequences
right?
for screwing around with that process.
Yep.
And so I don't want that. I also don't want my data randomly purchased by people I'd rather not have my data.
Yeah. Well, that ship sailed.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yay.
All right. So I don't know if you.
Oh no, yeah. You want to take us into the next story? Because I mean that
yeah,
kind of
so I
dovetails
had-
with what he was saying.
I had two other stories. For some reason, I have two links up on the FBI WhatsApp recovery thing, so that means I lost one of them.
That's funny. I did too.
Huh.
It's weird.
Anyways, but there was one on here. It was brought up to me earlier regarding a different site called Tumblr that they stopped using like password logins.
Mm-hmm.
You now get an email, and so that was brought up to us, and that was kind of fishy. And we're like, I don't know why they did that. And I just read that Medium, the blogging platform, where people tell your stories and stuff like that, tell their stories, they're also doing that. So is this becoming a norm to where it's just a single sign-on with a link instead of your password and no two-factor? So basically, if someone gets access to your phone
Your
and
email.
they have access to your email,
Well,
which is
yeah.
already, your email's not encrypted. You just go to the mail app on the freaking device, and then you just click the link, and you're automatically signed in. You don't need to know even a first factor of security.
Wow.
Right. Yeah.
That's
Tell some
ridiculous.
really interesting stories about you.
Yeah.
Wow.
I just find that just so bizarre.
Who are they catering to with that concept?
I don't know. And it's just especially weird because, Medium, yeah, they have a lot of different types of articles, blogs, and posts. But obviously the ones that I see, probably because it's just my Twitter feed giving them to me, are InfoSec related. And you'd think with a platform that gets a ton of traffic on cybersecurity-esque material that they wouldn't do such a bold move of, well, just take this link and we'll log you in automatically. You don't got to do anything else.
I bet you I can get their mail server to downgrade their TLS to 1.3.
You think so?
I'm going to try it.
Oh, no. That would not be great. I hope they tested that before.
Yeah, I bet you can. Because
And if it doesn't work on there, you should probably try other sites like that have tried this, like Tumblr or Twitter.
Yeah, because if that's what's going on, if you can get it to down it, then
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Then you're going to pop that so easily?
yeah.
Oh, no. Well, that's not cool. Notes Medium on a blog post announcing this change. Passwords are neither secure nor simple. They're hard to remember or easy to guess. Everyone reuses them, and they're a pain to type in on mobile. They don't even keep you safe. So that was Medium's comments on the matter.
I mean,
It's hard to type them in on mobile because they don't let us have hardware keyboards anymore on mobile.
why did those go away?
iPhone 3.
Yeah, the iPhone 3 just like
Yeah.
2007
Okay.
was just like was an arc.
Yeah. Once they had screen keyboards, and they convinced a significant number of the phone users to be able to that was the panacea.
Yeah.
Look how cool this phone looks. Look how cool you look typing on it.
Right.
Not the fact that you can't type a third as fast as you could with a manual keyboard.
Yeah.
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 Didn't matter to those people.
I had the G1 and the G2, so I stuck with keyboards as long as I could.
I had an HTE that I just loved. I had a snap-out keyboard, and it's just great.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I,
tactile feedback. It was
I was actually speaking to Doxy about this recently. I was talking about the BlackBerry Key 1, I think is the new one coming out. And I was like, oh, it has a hardware keyboard. I was slightly interested in it, but I don't think I could ever go back to a hardware keyboard because I went from, Nokia to I had one BlackBerry and then I immediately went into the iPhone, Android stuff. And so I only, I didn't have a hardware keyboard as long as others have. But it still interests me, and I don't think I'll pull the trigger on that. But
I'm even kind of
considered.
I like the haptic touch feedback on a screen.
Yeah,
and it's not there anymore.
That's true.
Yeah, at least then you could, like, when you touched it, you knew that you touched that key.
Yeah,
and you can go a little bit faster. But when you're typing with your thumbs,
it doesn't have that.
Yeah,
A lot of times for text, I just hit the speech to text things and.
Yeah, why don't you just call
him? If you're going to use
having
speech
I mean, at that point,
at some point, you got two people talking to a phone.
why don't you just establish a phone call?
I'm okay with that, but I'm old. So,
I know, I'm too. I'll pick up the phone and call in a minute.
Yeah.
Are you calling me? This must be important. No, I just want to chat.
Well, fair enough. Yeah, I don't
Ridiculous.
Yeah.
You're on drugs. Hangs up. Nobody talks on cell phones anymore. The only people that call me are salespeople.
Yeah,
and it sucks.
That's happened a lot recently.
Dude, it's happening to me like every day now. I updated my LinkedIn with my new title, and because it has the words assistant director in the title, I get so many freaking phone calls. And my receptionist lady, she'll call me. She goes, "This person's on the line for you," and immediately transfer over. And
Why
I'm just
would she do that?
Because she's a terrible person. So now I'm on the phone, and I'm like, no, we don't need that. No, we already have this. No, we have a different solution. And it's like I'm stuck, and it's like I don't want to hang up on them.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not a complete asshole. But also, it's like I'm watching my YouTube videos, like, leave me in peace.
I get to that
Schedule
point.
some time with them and then don't show up.
Yeah, I did that next Friday. You know what I did? One called me, and their product kind of interests me, but I was like, they want to do it at 11. And I was like, look, on Fridays at 11, I'm going to lunch. And they're like, we'll take you out to lunch. I'm like, perfect. So now I got lunch set up for me next Friday.
Okay, that's kind of cool, actually. Yeah.
If I do that every time, I could get free lunch every Friday. Well, actually, I could just schedule it 5 days a week. I don't care.
Maybe
I'll listen to somebody for an hour for free tacos.
Free tacos.
Yeah, I'm going to Me Gusta Tacos next.
Yeah, there's Landry's Steakhouse, right?
I should up the game.
That's what I'm saying.
We do live in Las Vegas. I'm like, I need to go to Holstein's. It's in the Cosmopolitan. It's like $30 a burger, but they're damn good.
Landry's, man. Oh, it's so good. No, wait, what's that place? Lowry's. That's Lowry's, not
$300 a plate.
No. Well, it can be. It definitely can be.
The only place that I've been.
Lunch is not that bad. No. Yeah.
Ugh.
Oh,
damn.
So,
so I need to schedule a dinner. I'll see if I can bring extras.
So good. Oh, like melts in your mouth steak. Oh, it's wonderful.
Yeah, it's like steak that was like made out of butter.
I'm crying. It's so beautiful. I'm literally tearing up a little. Yes.
So that's just we kind of diverted.
We did
the train there.
We do that.
Went down 3 different tracks, but
we should definitely cover the pre-crime thing.
Oh yeah, so we're getting close to the end, but we're not doing a lightning round because we don't do those things.
Lightning round, schmattering round.
So there was another article that I posted in our Discord channel. Actually, I posted that in our other chat that nobody saw. But this one was police use of Minority Report style pre-crime tech raises inaccuracies and concerns. Obviously. But the biggest thing that you and I both read this article, I was just associating with the anime Psycho Pass because it's literally the plot of Psycho Pass.
Okay.
But you pointed out the little bit there at the end, just the quote says, the pred poll system seems to be learning from reports recorded by police, which may be in higher areas where more police are rather than underlying crime rates.
Right. So
this technology isn't necessarily predefining or finding, crimes in any sort. There's a lot of police there, but if the police are already there frequently to begin with, now it's just associating that whole area as crime, and now everyone there's a criminal.
Right. So basically it's like, oh, there's a lot of crime in that area. I should send the police. Hey, there's a lot of police in that area. I'll bet there's a lot of crime. I should send more police.
Yeah. That's pretty much exactly what's happening.
Yeah. Now, go ahead.
So it actually used some of the algorithms about traffic predictions that Google uses and Waze uses about traffic predictions. And so basically what it was really saying was, based on historical events on Friday night at 7 o'clock, this area has had X number in the last 6 weeks, these kinds of events.
Yeah.
So, and they required this many officers. And so that's what it was. It was like basing on prior events in a location, they were sending officers to that location. Just like, like your Waze map will come up and say, hey, you'll probably hit traffic on the way there because, 5 o'clock on Friday, this is what's on the streets.
Right.
And that's part of the prediction that they were using. It's part of that future predictability based on historical events around that area.
Huh, interesting. It kind of reminds me of, I can't remember, it was an audiobook I was listening to. Maybe it was The Power of Habit, but it was some high-ranking official in the military. And like every week there was just riots in, a Middle East city, and nobody could figure out, how to stop it. It just grew out of control completely. But this new military official came in and he looked at the whole landscape and he's like, the riots start occurring after the food trucks show up. And it's because people start gathering in this area for so long and then they get hot-headed, but there's also food there, so they might as well stay there because they're being fed. And then riots happen. So the military official made a ban on the city square area, made a ban on all food trucks and food carts. And once that happened, no more riots ever happen again. Because everyone's like, oh shit, it's 7 p.m. I'm hungry. And they go home. Instead of going, shit, it's 7 p.m. I'm hungry. Holy crap, there's, food right there. They eat it and then they start throwing rocks. Yeah. So this military official was like, easy. So it's kind of like, that's just kind of what draws me into, it's like, well, if they're going there because crime was there, but now because the police are there, they're associating it with more crime there, so they send more police there. It's like, well, just maybe if you slowly don't have the police there, if you only have them there when crimes are actually occurring, not just their presence there, maybe stuff might not happen or get statistically recorded as much.
Well,
I don't know.
So they said the article did say that they can configure it differently to where that doesn't happen.
Oh, but why? Yeah.
It's one of those things that you need to stay on top of. Back to configuration again. So it can be set up correctly to where that doesn't happen so much. But I had another point about the article, but if you want to go ahead.
It's really the software is just simply feeding the notion about the broken window theory.
Yeah.
That if you take care of the small things, it dampens down the big things.
Right.
So if you ticket more crosswalk people walking, jaywalking, then there would be less muggings. Is the basic theory of broken window. And Giuliani started that in New York back in the late 90s. And it's pushed all over the place. Atlanta, Philadelphia, LA has this. And so basically what they want this program to do is tell them where they can go do this broken window theory is what they're doing.
But broken window quickly developed into stop and frisk.
Yeah, which is Schrodinger's perpetrator, right? You don't know if they're really a concern until you actually open the box, right?
Right. So there goes your Fourth Amendment rights. So, yeah.
Are they a perpetrator or not? Don't know until we take all the stuff out of his pockets.
Yeah. So, and what's really messed up is in New York City, it was decriminalized to have up to an ounce of weed on your person as long as it wasn't in plain view. So they take it out of your pockets, and now it's in plain view. So now you're in trouble.
I wasn't drunk outside of a bar. I was drunk in a bar, and somebody threw me out of a bar.
Officer, arrest that man.
That's right. Yeah.
So the as far as when to send cops, if it's set up correctly, then okay, I get it. They want to have just-in-time people, which sucks, but it is what it is. But now one example though in Fresno. Officers raced to I'm going to go ahead and read from the article here. Officers raced to a recent 9/11 call about a man threatening his ex-girlfriend. A police operator in headquarters consulted software that scored the suspect's potential for violence the way a bank might run a credit report. The program scoured billions of data points, including arrest reports, property records, commercial databases, deep web searches, and the man's social media postings. It calculated his threat level as the highest of 3 color-coded scores, a bright red warning. The man had a firearm conviction and gang association, so out of caution, police called a negotiator. The suspect surrendered, and police said the intelligence helped them make the right call. It turned out he had a gun. One, having a gun does not mean you are a criminal.
Yeah.
2, making angry Facebook posts is pretty much what Facebook is for a lot of people.
Yeah.
So
it's a relief valve from the. It works as a relief valve.
it is a wretched hive of scum and villainy now.
Oh, sure, but you get to yell at somebody.
I'm done with it. I'm done with yelling. at people
Yelling
all
is
the
so
time.
fun.
If I'm gonna do it, I'm gonna do it in person.
You just gotta.
No, I'm just saying that Facebook actually making angry Facebook posts actually is a vent for people not to be so angry. They actually get all their anger out on people they don't really know.
I guess, yeah. But whatever you type into a computer, at some point it's going to be on a billboard.
It's going to be on a police scanner.
And it's going to be on a police scanner. Yeah, that's the other thing too. So that part is a little bit
Weird. Hairy.
Yeah.
Trap.
But at the same time, I mean, I get it. If they use it like Fresno used it, okay, cool.
Yeah.
But if they use it like a lot of cops use, I don't know, other signifying factors about a person that they have pulled over, perhaps amount of melanin, then that could be bad.
Yeah.
So it's. I mean, really, at the end of the day, it's a tool. I can take a hammer, I can build a house for orphans, or I could go on a kill crazy rampage.
It just happened in New York. That guy who attacked those 2 police officers. Well, he's attacked 4 previous people. They found him. And he attacked 2 police officers with a hammer.
Wait,
Wow.
they found him.
Yeah.
And what they do with him? They said.
Well,
Hey.
they saw him and said, "Hey," and he jumped on the one cop and
I
started
thought they
smacking her in
found
the head
him.
with a hammer.
Yeah, like arrest report, and then they're like, "You could go. By the way, your hammer's in lockup. Go pick it up." And then he goes out there and does it again.
Is that wait?
No, that didn't happen.
Oh, okay.
That's what I thought we were going with this. Like, they found
Oh.
him, they did some stuff with him, and then they let him go. They gave him his possessions back.
All
which
right,
included
here's
a
your hammer, but hey, you watch it. Watch it with the hammer, all right? Just calm down.
Yeah, that would be shit if that happened. But it's
Someone-
probably happened.
Someone would
Actually,
definitely
that did. I read an article recently actually where I can't remember where it was. Somebody was arrested for methamphetamine, and they put it with all of his belongings. And so when they discharged him, they gave him all his belongings back, which included the meth.
New Mexico?
I don't know if it was New Mexico. It would probably be make sense if it was. But so that's just kind of like ridiculous.
That is, yeah.
It would have been even better though if the ending part of the article was like, and then once he left the police station, he was rearrested for meth that the police gave back to him.
Wouldn't that be entrapment?
It probably would be.
Yeah,
but,
I would think so,
What do
yeah.
they care?
Yeah.
They're meeting their quota.
Hey, he's a meth head. Who cares? Sprinkle some crack
Well,
on him.
he's a meth dealer.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
I thought, he told me he was a pharmacist.
Oh, yeah.
Kidding.
Oh,
Well, if the cops were really smart and they really wanted to get him, they would have added more to it. Like if he's just under the limit, they take him in. It's like, oh, well, we can't get you for, distribution weight. Here, but you can go now. And they add like a couple more grams to it.
Yeah. We got him on this
I
much.
bet the computer could tell you how to do that.
What's that?
I bet the computer program could tell you how to do that.
Well,
But you can make an
yeah.
AI to be able to do those kind of nefarious stuff.
Oh, I'm sure.
Oh, yeah.
Well, you think they
They
won't?
probably exist.
If it's going to make them a buck, a nickel and a dime, yeah, they probably will.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
Well,
anyways,
yay.
I think we've hit our time. It's 8:30.
Well, have we run out of time?
Yeah, but
As you can see, we've run out of time, but we never run out of shit to say.
Did we? Oh well.
Did we do so?
No, I don't think we're done.
Did I miss something?
No.
Okay. If you'd like to know more about us, go to Greynoise. That's GREYNOI.SE. I feel like I'm missing a part of the outro.
You could say the address again.
We are at 1075 American Pacific Drive, Suite C, in beautiful downtown Henderson, Nevada. Or
You
Nevada.
said Nevada this
We
time.
are still the Las Vegas Valley Hackerspace, something crux. All right. Well, I guess that's it for this week. Catch us next week at 7:30. Same gray time, same gray channel. And I am Richard Satchel.
And I'm Zenify.
And that's it. Have a good night.